and attack at the front at the same time.
And I think
looks like Zelos has too many tanks around for that to really be too effective, though.
Looks like he only has... Oh, he has that Wraith out, and there goes that dropship, and he's just going to have to dump his forces here if he doesn't want to lose that Reaver as well. And there's the dump, and so he's going to lose that Reaver as well. That was very clever on Xellos' part, but I mean, in the meantime, these Dragoons going to come up and try to do some damage to the secondary, but that's not going to be very effective with the tanks that Xellos has out. He managed to take about 2 SCVs out before he's pushed back.
Yeah, that was kind of costly for Nara, losing the dropship and a few goons and the Reaver. Reaver is very expensive. Looks like Xellos actually hasn't taken that expansion yet. He dropped the SCV off, but he actually hasn't taken it yet. And Nara, in the meantime, has decided not to go for that island, and instead he's gone for it looks like one of the other main bases, or no, it looks like an expansion from one of the other spawn points. So Nara's gone for that spot. So he has another expansion going down. So Nara actually could take a little bit...
He's got that engineering bay blocking that other expansion in the meantime.
Xellos doing a very good job blocking Nara's expansions, but he's not really expanding much on his own, so it's not doing him a lot of good as far as taking any kind of economic advantage. It looks like he's going to see that base, though. He's got vultures over there, but there's no probes for him to kill just yet. Uh-oh. If that dropship goes to the wrong place, the dropship could go down! One shot! One more shot! Oh, the dropship goes down! Oh my god! I think that dropship had a couple tanks in it, too. So, that was a little bit costly for Xellos. Well done by Nara being on the spot and taking care of that when the opportunity arose.
So it looks like in the meantime, I'm surprised Xellos hasn't produced more forces than this in the meantime. He's trying to get that armory up, so it looks like he's going to switch. And that's really smart, because Nara at this point, going for that expansion in the upper right-hand corner, we could very quickly see him switch into air. It looks like actually he's getting another gateway and going for a forge in the meantime. And that's interesting, going for a forge. So that really suggests to me that he's kind of going to dedicate to ground troops instead of going air on this map.
Yeah. Yeah, he also could be worried about that Wraith, I guess, theoretically, getting some cannons down or something like that. Or cannons for vultures is good too. But yeah, definitely, it doesn't look like he's going air at all. Just going for a lot of gateways, which is pretty smart, honestly. I don't think he has... I mean, he's taking an extra base, but he really doesn't have that much of an advantage. Although, in game... crap, which game was that? 1? No, game 2... He didn't really have much of an economic advantage, but he managed to pull it off anyways. Although that was because Xellos was being a little bit timid. It didn't really push out when he had the opportunity.
Xellos almost tempting those Dragoons into that mine, but not being successful there. And really, I'm surprised that Xellos isn't pushing up. He's, or I should say, Nala's not pushing up. He has a large force advantage, in my opinion. And I'm surprised Xellos doesn't have more factories. He's just finally getting that expansion out in that again in that kind of expansion corner that's protected, like Noah was, Moltrap was talking about at that 9 o'clock position. Looks like I think that's Xellos in that 9 o'clock position, probably getting an expansion there. He's just finally getting those factories up. I think he couldn't get those factories up simply because he had that barracks down, but I'm surprised that he just completely forgoed any sort of unit production during that time, it looked like.
Yeah, well, yeah, the thing is, though, Nara, I mean, yeah, I agree, but I think the reason why Nara didn't push out is he has a lot of forces, but really, Xellos has a lot of siege tanks there, and especially in that bottleneck at his natural expansion, it would have been difficult to actually break through that without some more stuff. And okay, Nara is determined to take that island expansion over on the left side there at the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock position there, so loading up a few dropships to make sure that it wasn't taken. Wow, a bunch of vultures going in there. So it looks like Xellos trying to go in and do some harassment here. And planting mines all over the place. Those Dragoons are in serious trouble right now. Oh my god, they're surrounded by mines. He does have an observer, so he is able to take care of those mines after all. And there we see those cannons going down. Oh crap, dropships going down. Tanks now on the side of that expansion. It's going to be difficult, very difficult for Nara to get up that ramp and take care of those tanks right now. Especially having to deal with those mines in the way. So it looks like Nara is actually going to lose this expansion right now.
This was exactly what Xellos needed to do. He was basically starting to get outproduced economically, basically four expansions to 3, and going up and basically entirely neutralizing this. And now some dropships coming up, so I think that's going to be the end of this attack.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of this.
Yeah, going
dropping
directly on those
tanks.
tanks, and here everything else pushes up. But he basically did what he needed to do. He stopped production out of that Nexus, and now bringing up more vultures from that position. There's the Stargate. My guess is that's immediately going to be kind of pumping Arbiters in not too long. You can see the Templar archive down as well.
Yeah, I wonder. We'll have to see if he gets a tribunal or if he ends up going for some kind of carriers. I wouldn't put it past him to go carriers because, again, similar situation before. Xellos had all ground forces and didn't have the Goliaths up and didn't get Goliaths out until it was almost too late, basically.
I can't see him going carriers with the amount of gateways that he has down. He just has too many gateways to kind of switch into carriers, in my opinion. Those dropships getting stranded out there.
That's a good point.
And a bunch of cannons going down in that far position. He doesn't want to lose it, and that's going to be the another Stargate. Actually, I take it back. He is in fact going carriers.
Yeah, he is going carriers. I think Arbiters might have been better though with all those goons he had. I don't think he has enough military advantage to really spend the time getting those carriers, because that's basically the main thing is the time it takes to get those carriers out. He's not going to be able to hold Xellos off in that amount of time.
Xellos now has but with those factories now producing, he has a huge force, and he's starting to push up into Nara. And really, I don't think Nara has a big enough economy to basically produce out of those gateways and get carriers up in basically insufficient time before Xellos runs him over. And I don't think Xellos is going to be dumb enough to not put a comsat in his space and see those carriers going. And I think as soon as he sees that, he's just going to start pushing in. He might have already seen that, which is why he's being so aggressive at this moment.
Yeah, this is going to be... Basically, I think what's going to make or break this right now is Nara's ability to use those mines against Xellos. Because... Oh, Templar! He has High Templar! That mine save is, after all, is the Psystorm. So, Psystorm, for the win, he might actually be able to hold off Xellos because of those Templar. Before, I wouldn't think that he had enough, but if he can pull off enough good Storm, and maybe some good Zealot bombs, because Xellos is not bothering with the turrets this time when he's moving out.
I really wish I could see Nara's economy right now. Because if he has a buttload of gas, this will work. I mean, if he just has a ton of gas, because it looks like he does, because he's already producing Templar, but that's a perfect supplement to those carriers. And wow, looks like Xellos in the meantime going to be able to take that Nexus out in the upper right-hand corner, which again is just going to set those carriers that much further back, in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't have that gas up at the top right corner. He has this gas in his main, the gas at his natural, and the gas on that island on the left. So he only has 3 gases, which isn't really a lot for trying to pump out carriers, especially when he's militarily behind. He is going for those carriers, though. I guess he wants to do those carriers. If he can get 4 carriers out, then that's basically what he needs to do. But I really don't know if he's gonna be able to get it out in time. He doesn't have any forces on the ground anymore. And Xellos is just pumping shit out of his factories. He has a lot of factories. Although Xellos really, I guess I can't tell. It looks like maybe Xellos has taken the expansion just north of his base. So if he has that, then he's on an economic footing, equal footing as well. Nara getting pushed back here just by sheer force of vultures, and Xellos looks like he's actually pushing up into Nara's natural here. So having taken out the top right corner, again, not looking good for Nara. The momentum definitely against him, and he doesn't have the carriers out yet.
Xellos already has Goliaths before and pushing into the natural expansion of Nara's base, and this is just a huge force. That handful of Dragoons is not going to stop this.
Crap, this might be the end for Nara right now. Just doesn't. There's too many vultures on the ground. He has those carriers out, but they don't have interceptors yet. I don't think they're going to be enough to stop Nara from losing this expansion. And even if he can hold off this push, he's going to be so far behind economically. Oh no, a drop going in his back door. That is pretty much the end for Nara. He's out of minerals in his main. He just has that island expansion right now and nothing else. And
still those 2 Templar out there, 3 Templar, but carelessly losing those, that's going to be GG.
They just came out. Ouch. Yeah, he GG's. Oh my god. Xellos taking 3 games to Nara's 1 and taking the round. So Xellos will be advancing to the semifinals to face Bisu in the semifinals. I'm going to cut it short there to keep it under 20 minutes. Thanks for listening, guys.